Hey guys, this video is going to introduce your assignment for this week, which is the Timeline Project. Now, in the past, this project consisted of a poster board and an oral presentation. You all might remember seeing the posters of your friends and the embarrassing pictures of their childhood that lined the hallways at the end of last year. But since we're in virtual schooling, you all won't be doing a poster or an oral presentation. Instead, you're going to do a PowerPoint. Now, the purpose of this project is twofold. One, it's an opportunity for me to get to know you better, and two, it's an opportunity for you to show off the Spanish skills that you've learned over the last 2 years. So like I said, you're going to make a PowerPoint presentation. The presentation will be 11 slides long. You'll start with a title slide, and then you'll have 10 slides that show a significant event in your life. You can get as creative as you want with these events. They can go back as early as your birth, and they can extend as recently as now during the quarantine, or even you can go to the future. So you can say, in 2 years, I'm going to graduate from Providence, or in 6 years, I'm going to graduate from this university, that kind of thing. So feel free to get creative. Now, the grading here is letting you know exactly what I'm looking for. This is a 50-point assignment, and it will be a test grade. Like I said, you need to start with a title slide. You can pick a title for your presentation. It can be anything from My Life, or All About Me, or My Personal Timeline, or whatever you want. But it does need to be in Spanish, as the entire presentation should be in Spanish. For your 10 events, they do need to be listed in chronological order. That means in the order in which they happened. So if you're going to include your birth, that should be the first event in your timeline. For each individual event, they need to have a title. So if you wanted to say my birth, you'll need to translate that to Spanish. Okay, every slide needs to have a title stating what the event is, and that needs to be in Spanish. You need to mention your age for each event. Obviously, when it's your birth, you can just give the date for that instead. Now, I am going to give you guys a hint here. Age in Spanish is always in the imperfect tense. It's never in preterite. So remember, when someone asks you, ¿Cuántos años tienes? How old are you? What they're really saying in Spanish is, how many years do you have? And we answer in present tense with tengo, however many years you have. Now, when we're talking about the past tense, instead of saying tuve, you're going to say tenía. I had this many years, but again, that's in the imperfect tense, not in the preterite tense. Additionally, when you mention your age, I do want you to type out the word. So, if you're going to mention a time when you were 11 years old, tenía 11 años. You're going to spell out O-N-C-E, once, instead of the number 11. You also need to include some sort of an image with each slide. Now, at least 5 of those 10 images need to be an actual picture of you. You can include these in a variety of ways. You can take a picture of a physical picture, that's fine. You can upload a screenshot of a picture, or whatever else you need to do. Now, for those of you who do not currently live with someone who has pictures of you, I'm going to give you a couple days to contact a family member who would have pictures of you so that you can get those and include them. If for some reason you are unable to get any real pictures of yourself, please email me today to let me know that. Again, I'm going to give you some time to get that, so by the time your presentation is submitted at the end of this week, you need to have real pictures of you in your project. Additionally, you all get 3 points for your creativity and effort, and that really just comes down to making your presentation visually appealing. So when you open a new PowerPoint, all the slides are white and blank. Do not leave your PowerPoint that way. If you do, you will not get the points for the creativity and effort. Choose a different color background, put some sort of theme to it, arrange your pictures in a creative way, whatever it takes for you. Now, each slide also has to have a caption to go along with the picture. Your captions need to be between 25 and 40 words, and you need to include a word count after each one in parentheses. So this example sentence down here that's underlined is 16 words long, so I put the number 16 in parentheses after that sentence. In these captions, you want to show a variety of the grammar that you have mastered over the last 2 years of taking Spanish classes. I'll show you the rubric below. While I'm grading your captions, I'm looking at these 5 criteria. 1 is variety. You want to show that you can use a wide variety of grammar structures from the year. You want to avoid repetition in these captions. So each slide should not be, in this picture I did this, in this picture I did that. That would be an example of repetition. When you want to show a variety of grammar structures, think about ways when you can incorporate multiple verb tenses in one caption. For example, in this picture, I was playing basketball. I was athletic then, and I'm still athletic now. That way we're using both past and present tenses. That's just one example. Next, I'm looking at vocabulary. I want you to use a wide variety of the vocab that you all have used this year and vocab that's relevant to your presentation. So if something is school related, feel free to look back at the vocabulary we used in the chapters where we were talking about classroom. Also think of the vocabulary that we used in Chapter 4A when we were talking about childhood. Think toys that you played with, things you like to do, and places that you went. Next, I'm looking at agreement. Nouns and adjectives need to always agree in number and in gender. So if you're a girl describing yourself, you wouldn't say that you were atletico, you would say atletica. Or if you had two brothers who were really smart, you would say hermanos inteligentes with an S on the end. Make sure those are matching up in number and in gender. Next, I'm looking at your verbs. Are your verbs conjugated for the right person? And are they conjugated in the appropriate tense? And finally, I'm looking at the caption length. So above I said that you needed to have captions between 25 and 40 words. If you want to get the sixth point here in this category, your captions should be between 30 and 40 words. Make sure that if you're trying to get all the points, you're really going the extra mile here and giving your best work. Now let's take a look at what things you all need to be submitting this week. Looking at the module for this week, you have 3 things. The first one is the Timeline Project Intro. For that assignment, you are watching the video that's currently playing right now. You can also look at the Word document that I just went through with you. And then you have 10 questions to answer to show me that you understand what this project entails. That's it for today. The next assignment is the Timeline Project Check-In. That's due on Wednesday. The Timeline Project Check-In is just my way of saying, hey, you've got a big project due this week. Show me that you've made some progress so that I can make sure that you're staying up to date with the work. When you submit this assignment, what I am looking for is that you already have your title slide with a title in Spanish and your name, and that you have your 10 slides with a title to show that you've already chosen your events or the timeline points that you're going to be highlighting. So that means before you turn this in, you should look through family pictures and find out, hey, what events in my life do I have some pictures of that I could use or talk about? You're going to be uploading your PowerPoint for this assignment to show me that you have started working on it and that you have chosen your 10 events. And finally, you all have the actual timeline project submission. So again, this is a test grade and it is worth 50 points. The rubric is here below, just like what I pointed out to you in the Word document. You're going to be submitting your PowerPoint here, and this is your final presentation. This is due on Thursday. So again, today, Monday, you're watching this video, answering some questions to show me that you know what you're doing this week. By Wednesday, you need to show me that you have chosen your events and you've started your PowerPoint. And then Thursday, you are submitting your project totally completed. Each PowerPoint slide should have a title, a picture, and a caption. A couple common questions that I get with this are, can I go into the future? Can I talk about things that haven't happened yet? And yes, you absolutely can. Feel free to include some things in the future. If you have any questions about what's appropriate or what's not, definitely feel free to ask me. Another thing that I want to point out is that this is another test grade, which means you should not be working with any other students at all. If a student has a question about the project and is unclear about the instructions, they are to come to me. You all can come to my office hours, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., or you can email me at any time, and I'm happy to answer and give you the help that you need. If you guys have any other questions, just let me know. I can't wait to see your projects.